Then they have to split that with the 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a way we can do it.
Because here's what I was thinking, those big buildings, you got plaster, you can't, it could be really difficult to replumb them. Because I'm sure they don't have 3 separate.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in one. So I was thinking, well, body down. You have the roof full of landlords saying, oh my God.
Right, yeah.
Is this way,
And we can give them like when we get ready to prepare the ordinance or whatever, we can give them a time frame, like to prepare them, like, this is gonna be making a change and this will be effective, like whatever. So we can give them, yeah, we can.
Here's the other thing I was thinking is, if we did it, Billy.
Hey, how's it going?
They
Going, brother.
If they want to be plummet,
Oh, maybe
if
that's
they
true.
do separate, you can do it.
I just felt bad because of
Well,
I was like you,
yeah.
when we were talking about last meeting.
So anyway, that's my idea.
I think it's a good idea. I also brought information to give to Mindy, the shared liquor store, like, I was gonna give her the information for enviro forensics and North Central and give her the Kirklin Main Street contacts. They're the ones that gave me enviro forensics to start with.
So then, is this her pocket, where she wants to lay it out?
You're welcome, buddy. You like that?
Yeah. If that's Main Street, then I'm gonna turn around and put it on Jefferson's Street.
Got print all that. I got grandkids. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing.
There you go, buddy. Thank you.
They're kind of as good as crumbled.
Well, they need to be a good side.
Yeah, they're not a good sidewalk. I walk that way sometimes and it's crumbled.
So
I have a sign out sheet if you want to sign, or a sign in sheet if you want to sign in. It's optional, but it's completely up to you. That's why I put it at the door.
But, I would think we I'm sure that.
Yeah, that's all that was on
Wow.
It's changing.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
It
you
is,
just say that
yes.
this has to fit.
because there was very last minute.
Who's care right now? It has to be the same.
I told him, I'm like, you might not get very many people at last minute with that.
At least
I think it's
the
good.
amount.
Since I've been here 8 years and not one
So
time.
what they want to
Commissioner said,
I read that.
hey, we're still a meet and greet kind of
I already
thing with, Kirkland, so.
I keep running into your sister for Wickham.
I think
Your
he was
sister
running
work at
it.
Wickham?
Yep.
I seem like about every time I've been in there the last couple of months.
She's always there.
So we, as he did, right? We did the commission for
Coincidence.
Hey, what's happening?
My neighbor had put a Facebook post.
I don't have it.
That's code.
Is it some back further than?
Yeah.
I don't know, that's why I can't send you.
And then the,
Oh,
like fire station.
Hey, a whole bunch of
Last
stuff.
night she didn't feel too
Yeah,
good.
we gave him
Yeah.
rear end.
You see the
I
drawing?
can only do so much.
Radiator, carburetor. Okay.
I mean, when you
Why,
guys see people are
Some of
using
the,
it.
some of the time, I guess the rear end is from GTS.
I've been going so much, it's making it work.
Cause I feel like it was you guys.
Well,
Under our house.
You see the
I
ice.
made it home to go to sleep, that's how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is cut
Oh,
It is cut down.
Tara,
Mm.
was that changed to the 22nd instead of the 23rd? 66, so that's tomorrow night?
22nd is not tomorrow night.
Oh, is it, there's no sliders, no Friday, there's
Next
next
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
next Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever the 22nd is.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
probably,
yeah,
I thought it was Thursday, so it's now Wednesday.
He had something in his schedule.
Yeah, I have to change my date
And
then.
he sent me
I gotta
that, so,
change mine too, I had the 23rd.
yeah.
Thanks for telling me, Walt.
He had something on his
Well, I
schedule.
don't have to see that.
Is Craig coming?
Ain't she?
I mean, like
The 22nd is
Where's she
Tuesday.
doing it?
well, whenever he put on there is when.
It's like at 6 o'clock.
Well, I mean,
Saying now.
like last month he came and then he didn't even say good evening.
They're getting better at that all the time.
Okay, I gotta add it real quick.
Weird doing it.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
Wore out, man.
I think everybody else signed in. I sit at the door.
Good. How many weeks did you
We
have?
can do it later, cause I'm just trying to do it themselves.
At this stage.
Oh, well,
And I bought it
That's,
twice.
that's still better, so that,
It's crazy.
Oh,
Oh, buddy, I'm telling you.
yeah, my mom's told me, she never had ads on it, but some people do. And what kind of?
3D printers we got new.
I mean, if we're out, we can just turn our time back. But hopefully it'll fill it all. Did you not get a sign? Just sign the back of it. I don't think that's, I don't know if that's gonna come now.
Yeah, they look pretty good. What's the first thing you do?
Yeah, and there's some of them in the parade.
I bring that up.
Some of them don't even know sick as hell.
I mean, bring a whole thing of yours and stand up here. 'Cause
My mom was called.
I moved it so people sign it. Just don't write here
My
by,
mom was stationed.
wait, by Jay, just so people talk.
It was like, and that's my mom's body.
He wasn't in here when I moved it, so he didn't know that.
All over, bless you, Dave. I hadn't seen you yet.
I've been in a dead run, doctor says, help the wall, we got so many other things going on. Sit at the average setback versus enough hours that is.
No, there's not.
Well,
That's why I'm.
How are you?
Way if we went in there. All that money I borrowed from you, he did a cosign.
Perfect.
You said set it back as you are. So that's what we're doing.
You got grass?
Yeah.
I got a whole bag.
Yes?
Yeah, you guys asked.
You guys know you're on live there, helping the grass, right? Oh, my God.
I'm gonna call the meeting to order. We're after 7, so we're already live right now, so trying to get started here.
Sure.
Tara, can you do roll call, please?
Brent Settler.
Yes.
Jerry Fawcett.
Yes.
Walt Bennett.
Here.
Melinda Joe.
Yes.
Craig Kaczynski.
Yes. We're gonna stand for pledge of allegiance and a prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Heavenly Father, as we come this evening, we just take a moment and we ask that you be with us and help us make the best decisions for the town of Kirklin, and be with us as we return safely to our homes. And we ask all these things in your name. Amen. packet that we picked up this last weekend. Tara had our meeting minutes in there. Did you guys have any changes or corrections to those? If not, can I have a motion, if they're okay with everyone?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand, and the motion carried. We are up to new business, and give this to Mindy, or give it to me, or?
Those are the minutes you signed.
Oh, gotcha, okay, I will. Did you wanna say anything, Kat, or about our,
It's up to you, I mean, you guys have read it, and
Okay.
you know what, it's the
You understand that?
the proposal
right,
for the corner right over there. And then the owners, Hollingsworth and Mrs. Eisenhower, have agreed to the commitments, as long as you are fine with those commitments, or if you want different commitments. If you're wanting different commitments, then you'd have to table it, you don't wanna, can't.
Well, if they would, what they would have, it would send it back there to the area planning commission to then make their comments on the revisions before it came back here.
Okay, that's not the way I understood it, but
But
okay.
it would, yeah.
I guess he's the attorney, so he
he
would
would
know.
know.
Are you Mindy's mom?
I'm against it.
And most of these, liquor stores are under your name?
They're incorporated, LLCs.
Right, so you're here representing.
Yeah, she has COVID. She just found out
Oh
after
my
lunch.
gosh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible, okay, that's good, I just wondered who was
Yeah.
talking.
I have personally sat and looked through this, and, I think when I just saw the drawing when I got here, this is showing that it's on like it's facing Main Street. Is there, could you also maybe even consider turning it so it faces Jefferson Street? Did you want it facing Main Street? Like, is there more room
Yeah.
on Main Street that way than if you turn it
It
the
has
other
the size
direction?
of the lot. The lot is long along 421.
Than it is
Yeah,
on Jefferson Street?
up there in the corner it says.
So what's the build out from the alley? What is that? Is it building of any property, and what is that, 15 foot?
No, not off an alley. They say if it's a business, they can build right on the property line.
I know, but the site is 132 by 132, it's the same size.
I don't think that's right.
I don't either.
No, that's not right.
So that's what I was going off of, that's why.
And then I see Jamesy out in the parking, out in the thing, so I'm sure he's got something to say
I
too.
really think there should be a setback of some type, but only being fair to the neighbors.
If you, excuse me for saying, if you don't mind me saying, I know something eventually is gonna go there, why wouldn't it? It's residential, I don't foresee anyone ever building a house there, I guess it's possible. It's what worries me is, and I can go back, yeah, I'm an old man, but I can go back to the mid-80s, and I had an accident right there. I had a lady hit me broadside, I was going south, she was going east, she didn't see the stop sign and hit me in the driver's door. That's just one accident, I can tell you. I know Steve Neal's daughter got hit there.
I've been in an accident there too.
It's just a dangerous intersection with the, I don't know what it is, the economy doing real well, the traffic is higher at that intersection from both ways. Early one morning, I get up and leave early morning, I seen the trash truck, and they take this route, they take many routes to get to north side of Franklin. Missed a turn and drove through the lot. And I don't know how he kept from not hitting the fire hydrant over there, but he missed missed the turn. Now, was he asleep? I don't know, but that's not the only time I've seen that. I've seen him cut through the drive, and they haven't hit any mowing yet, but
Okay.
it's just a dangerous intersection, and if you're gonna put a business there, really do your study on which way to face that and which way to have an in and an out driveway. If you put it facing 421, I'm telling you, and you guys that live here for a while, how busy 421 is between probably 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock. It's really busy. And 38's getting busier, but just, you wanna take a look at that if that happens.
So,
Have you asked like NDOT, like what their recommendation is on,
Not yet.
Okay.
We didn't think we were there yet.
okay,
I mean, I'm sure they'll tell us.
okay, that's
They
what,
didn't share it.
okay.
so being a resident, right next to the property, you own the property and right next to it, do you have a problem with if they turned it sideways and went towards the fire station and the entrances were on 30, what is that, 38?
Yeah, it would probably be safer now. You guys may know this.
But is there a problem with that being the backside of that in your property? Is that a concern? If it is, say it is.
Not really. For my concern, there's not much I can do which way it faces.
Cause we want progress, but we don't wanna upset nobody neither,
I'm only gonna be around 20 years, so.
Me too, I get it.
But, if you people that are here are gonna have relatives, around a lot longer than I'm gonna be, but I think it would be safer, that's just my opinion. Now, with the fire station there, that's another, safety concern, would be of mine facing the fire station.
Right.
But, like I said, getting ready to say, you guys may know more of this than I do. Eventually, there's probably gonna be a new fire station built somewhere.
Yeah. Is there anybody here from the fire station?
No.
Cause that sign's been up for a while,
Yeah.
I know they probably figured it would never sell, but now it has, and now we're at that point. The important part is, you're right there, if you don't mind the back of a business, because there will be probably deliveries and stuff, and there'll be an alleyway behind the business, I would think, for your trucks to bring in.
Right.
There is an alleyway the way it's drawn.
Okay.
Right, but when you
yes, we
build
would
it,
have
say
to-
if we turn it
yes.
sideways,
Yes,
we would have an alleyway in the back,
Yes.
and him being a resident,
yes.
that's one of the questions are asked.
We wouldn't have an alleyway. They would.
They would.
They would have a loading and unloading zone behind the building.
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
Could there be a fence there? I have a fence there now.
Right.
It's not a very tall one, but
How far is your fence off their line? 15 foot?
no, I don't think it's that far.
Okay.
And I've worked with Dennis in the past. He's always been good to me. That's why I mow it. He let us have a garden there. He let my kids ride their go-kart and
Right,
dirt bikes over there. So I told him I'll mow it.
yeah.
And I put the fence up. Now I'm not sure where the line is. A lot of people would plant flowers, trees on a line years ago.
Yeah.
I'm assuming with that bush that I have up front was probably real close to where the line was at. So I'm on my side of the lilac bush. So,
And you've been taking care of that property over the years?
yeah, well, I kept it mowed.
Yeah, yeah.
So at our last meeting, we had a resident who advocated for a stoplight out here because of how busy it is. Well, if we add another 1 or 2 businesses out there, it's just gonna create more chaos as long as there's no light. So I don't think anything should necessarily be done until we have a light.
Okay,
Either
this
remove
is,
this light here at Madison and put it right here.
this is how NDOT works though. If they don't see something that needs to be changed, and currently there's nothing sitting there, so they're not gonna look at anything until something's there. So, anybody else agree with me on that? Am I right, Brendan?
I have a comment about the light.
Yeah.
You don't wanna move that light on Madison. That is a major crosswalk for people.
Yes.
No,
That's why
we'll keep that, but the addition,
Well, no, he said move
I
the
did
light.
say
He
move
said
the
move.
light.
Yeah, no, that wasn't our thought. Years ago, we had, in the old town hall, we had a guy from the NDOT showed up at a meeting, and that was talked about then. He said, we operate off statistics. I said, so in other words, so many people have to get killed. Well, we operate off statistics.
What happened?
But us as a town, can we put a four-way stop there if we wanted?
It still has to be run through NDOT.
On state highway.
We can't
Do anything.
on state highway.
Okay,
But this new structure would look so much nicer facing Main Street than the side of it.
But
And the back of it would be facing the alley, that'd be the way to do it. And it would be ideal to get us another stoplight put in there, getting them to do it.
I agree.
If you could, maybe if you could talk to them. There was a lady here that said she was gonna approach somebody, and,
That was last meeting.
yeah, I don't know that she did or not, but she said she was going to.
And I wanna, and I don't know if this will, you know, if this will make a difference or not, but at the APC meeting, Walt had addressed this situation, and so the third commitment, which Ms. Eisenhower agreed to, was all structures must sit at or behind the average setback of the structures on the adjacent property. So if you face it towards Jefferson, is that gonna
Yeah.
get that out of whack with that third commitment? I mean, she's agreed to that commitment and then make her turn it to where, I don't know.
Well, you probably could do both. In other words, if you could have a building that had, in essence, an L-shaped front, and then it would, in essence, have a front that faced Jefferson and a front that faced the Main Street. And then you could put your not your customer, but your employee parking back behind, and your deliveries back behind.
Well, it was brought up in
And still meet your average setbacks.
Okay.
that the building cannot be any further closer to 421 than the fire station building. It had to be the same setback. That's, again, that's for safety reasons. I mean, that's a very busy intersection.
so if that's a setback, then what is the setback from Jamesy's property? If we got setback from the street, what's the setback from his property?
If you look at his
Resident?
house is about equal with the fire station.
If you look at the foundation, which is still over here,
Yeah.
it sets back quite a ways.
Yeah.
Where the old station used to be.
Well, that was what was brought up, that couldn't go any closer than the front of the fire station to Main Street.
Kat, I don't have a vote, but I know the liquor store would be one. What other, that they're wanting to put there, what other businesses can go there? Because I think that'd be important for people to know too. What could possibly go there?
Well, it would pretty much be like, it's B2, so it's gonna be your retail type things.
Any
Sort of
kind of
like-
retail?
Pretty much.
Well, pretty much.
So sort of like what we got downtown, but it would be in that building.
Mhm.
And so is it, okay, so we got liquor store, and then
We're
I
thinking
talked to your daughter, is it two more extra
three
for like retailers? And one thing I talked to her about is, you know, we're trying to keep Kirklin, and building can be modern as everything it wants to be. But the outside, I think matching the town for the town, you know, town's time, whatever, facade, whatever you wanna call it.
Well, the building we have in Sheridan, that we're thinking this one would be
Is that the
similar.
one that has the metal and got the wood poles out in front?
Yes,
Okay,
that, the front of that is similar to the front of Booker's,
yes.
and that's right across the street.
Mm-hmm.
The metal building is similar to the fire station.
Sort of a pole barn sort of looking, cause I seen the picture, of the one that was in Sheridan.
Mhm.
You got
And then
pictures
they
in
had
your
the
packet.
liquor store and then two other outlets inside of
Yeah, I
it,
did.
correct?
Yeah, I looked at the pictures too. There's pictures
No,
in
There's
there.
pictures there.
Yeah.
The building that we built in Sheridan is Northern Hamilton County Academy.
Yeah.
It's Westfield Heights and Sheridan's troubled kids. So the school actually rents both units from us. It was 2 units, had a wall in between, and they
Opened it up.
opened it up for
That's
their
all.
whole thing.
The only thing I wanted to add to this is, I've got some information on a sheet I typed out for you today that's, Kirklin Main Street, kind of started, looking at our 3 blight gas stations, and they brought in-row forensics, and we're looking at see if the lots are clean because they were previous gas stations. So I have some contact names on here. Have you guys looked at any of that? Like any of the?
Well, Dennis assured us that he knew that the tanks had been removed.
If you want to follow up with these people to verify, I mean, I think you might want to check things before you would actually, have you purchased it yet? The properties or in the process of
We were in the
purchase?
process. He didn't have any money yet, so I guess no.
Okay, well, I'm just giving you that, 'cause I'm from the town, I wanted to be upfront about it, I just,
Right. Me as a
So-
resident and a business owner, I did make a bid on the property adjacent south of town that you guys are putting a bid on. I do know I got all the paperwork from,
Yeah, I have that.
Brownsburg.
I have that.
Yes, and all the
Brownsburg.
tanks are out,
They-
but for some reason, I do think you might have a headache over here. I just want to let you know ahead of
Okay.
time. I don't know if the tanks have been taken out or not. I have not been able to find the paperwork, but that's not because, I mean, that could be, you can look deeper and find it. I was more or less looking on the other property for my coffee shop, so I know that is adequate for a place. This one, you might wanna dive a little deeper in it before you get involved, because that could be a
Involved.
headache. You know what I mean? That could be a headache.
One of the things you have to look at with old gas stations
Yeah, I know.
is not only the tanks, but a lot of them, you know, if they had, lead.
Lead.
Well,
and
yeah,
lead
you could have lead
hydraulics.
problems from leaded gasoline, but also
The
wheel
hydraulics,
weights and that stuff.
yes.
But the other problem you have is they used hydraulic lifts, and they had the hydraulic lines were underground, and when they leaked, they just put in more fluid,
Right.
and so sometimes you have hydraulic fluid problems, which is a contaminant. So you probably are gonna need to do a phase 1, probably a phase 2.
Brownsburg or
it's
something.
brownfield. But
Brownfield.
the person I would probably wanna contact first on that is Chad Pigg. He's the first number I gave you on there, cause, he has done some research on both of those properties.
The good
So-
news also is that since it's a former gas station, you may be able to qualify it under the
Right,
the
it would not-
program that they have.
Right, it wouldn't come out of pocket. They do have grants for that. They would come in and pay you to clean that area up. We really want to get that property revitalized. Now, we could get it for a parking lot, but that's not doing nothing for us. Getting businesses in there is helping the town.
Yeah.
The property down there, it's been deemed no action needed. You know, it's agricultural or business. Agricultural, they put a stipulation on there, if you're gonna grow something, put in a raised bed. You know,
Yeah, I read that.
other than
Okay.
that, you're good on that property. This property, for your safety and for Mindy's safety, I would like you to look into it because it could haunt you.
Yes.
Now, not that there's not free services for that, you know, as Billy could tell, he'll tell you there's certain services that can go, they will come check it out. How much of that they'll pay, I don't know 100%, but I don't want you
Well,
guys.
there's certain services that will help you with phase 1 and phase 2. During phase 2, if they find something that is a contaminant, it is up to the property owner to clean it.
Okay.
But if it qualifies under the ELF fund, then, and as more money keeps flowing into that fund, the amount that the owner has to put in is going down.
Yeah.
Last time I saw it was 15,000.
Right.
What was 15,000? I didn't follow you.
In other words, if there's,
That'd be the maximum we pay.
yeah.
Oh.
At this moment, yes.
Now, when Dollar General went in, I know there were stipulations that they put in a sidewalk. Would you guys be putting a sidewalk on?
Yeah,
You
they
guys
would
have
have
to?
to.
The
Okay.
sidewalk.
All right,
That's
well,
what
that's
Jay and I were
important.
just talking about before the meeting too, cause like, there is a sidewalk there, but it's partial and it's broken up and we thought the same thing, like a
But we're
sidewalk.
Well, and quite frankly, they're gonna want a sidewalk, because they want
Sidewalk too.
people to be able to walk there easily and, yeah.
We're definitely not trying to discourage it, but we don't want you to get in over your head neither on, you think everything's good. There's a lot of things that when you buy an environmental property that you really have to go on. The other one is clear, it's no action needed. I know that 100% because I
I do
was
too,
gonna
I
buy
read the
it.
same paper you.
Right, but this one,
I
I just
know.
don't want you to get stuck on.
I know. Thank
We really love what you want to do. There's a problem with people, they don't want a liquor store on the main street, but you know what, you're doing 3 openings. So maybe you put it in the back one, put businesses up front. There's a lot of things we can go through to change as we do it. And or you build a liquor store down there, but then you put 3 occupants down here. And now that's a real estate property that you and your daughter are making money off, but yet it's still giving to the community. There's a lot of things that go on, but for your own safety, I would probably, what's that, Brownsburg? Brownsfield, I would call them just in case, because I've heard the tanks are gone, I've heard the tanks aren't. I live 2 doors down from there. I'm not trying to just to get you out of it, but I want you to look into it first to make sure that's something that you want to do. Brownsburg, they come out, Brownsfield, they come out and they check it out.
I'm gonna stop for a second. Hey Jay, like, where do we proceed on the rest
Well,
of this right now?
In other words, if what you wanna do, you, basically right now, and it says, these are the commitments that the owner has made and to induce the approval of the, project. Now, you haven't approved the site plan, they're gonna have to come in with the site plan, and the site plan's gonna have to be approved by the town and by the area plan commission.
Yes, it's gonna be it's
Yeah.
not gonna be administrative, development plan, it's gonna go through a full development plan review with a hearing.
With the state too, with the state plan, will the state plans be?
Well, they have to, yeah,
Do it,
anytime
okay.
that it's a commercial structure, the state has to.
Okay, give them,
So then the requirements are, the commitments. Development must be compatible with the existing downtown, including downtown streetscape and sidewalks on both frontages. Okay, so those you said you want, and it's already in there.
okay.
Okay, second, the parcel shall be subject to a development plan review process with a hearing to verify design that not only meets the Unified Development Ordinance requirements, but also is aesthetically and functionally compatible with Kirkland's existing downtown to the town board and area plan commission satisfaction. So they're gonna have to come in with drawings that show this is what we wanna build, and this is what it's gonna look like, and the town and the area plan will have an opportunity to say yes, or, oh, we think you ought to change something. Okay. Then the last is the structure must sit back at least the average setback of the structures on the adjacent property. So what you do is you take the 2 blocks on each side, and you look at, okay, how far are they set back? And and then you take the average, and that they have to meet that average of the setback. So,
Okay.
so it's all fairly well laid out in the commitments, I think.
Jay, if they put up a privacy fence between the business and the residents, do they have to go by that setback on that particular?
Setback, a privacy fence can be on the boundary.
I know, but I'm just saying, would the building have to meet that certain setback if you put a privacy fence between the business and the?
You're still gonna have to meet the setback.
Okay.
Now, the fence doesn't have to meet the setback.
Yeah, the fence can be right on the property line or within a foot of it.
Yeah. Now,
Not on it.
at some point, you can't have the fence blocking your sight lines for that corner.
Well, it would have to come down to the edge of the right of way and then stop, which would be the back side of the sidewalk. And it would have to be angled, you know, to a certain, you know, give you a little more sight out of the vehicle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you also have to remember, the fire department uses that fire plug over there to fill up their trucks all the time. If they were by the alley.
Yes, and you're right. That property has went up a few months ago for sale, and the sign came down, and then it went up again. Nobody's here, that's why I asked if anybody's here from the fire department, because, I mean, it's been up prior, months ago, when I put a bid in. Now it's been up again, and, you know, I don't know whether the fire department thinks it's any, what do you call that,
Brownsburg?
yeah, Brownsburg property, and nobody's gonna buy it, but now here we are, we're here at the elephant in the room, somebody's buying it, and they didn't put a bid out, so they had 2 months prior, 2 months now to buy that property that they park at. You know, now they're gonna have to park at the tower, which is gonna be seconds to saving somebody's life or a fire, but to go on the thought that that property would never sell, I mean, you gotta think about that, you know, they should have put a proposal in, you know, I think about the fire department.
it's private property, and
Right.
they didn't buy, you know,
You're right, they didn't jump for it, they just been using and getting the water, paying us, which is fine, but we have a hydrant over by the tower too, but that should have been something addressed, you know?
Right, now do you park over here and run across the highway?
That's probably what's gonna have to happen if they buy the property, you know? It'd been nice if fire department bought it, you know? We'd like to have a parking lot over there.
Or at least buy one of the lots unless you have to buy both.
Right.
Yeah.
We'd like to have a parking lot over there for overflow,
Yes.
but we're a town looking for income.
Let's
too.
try to keep on the topic here, because we're kind of going on and on about stuff. We have, our ordinance here that Kat has prepared for us. I need to know if any other council has any comments. If we want to go ahead with this ordinance, if you want to table it, I need to know your input.
I think we need to pass it and get it going so she can get going on with what she needs to do. She's got a lot of hoops to jump through yet.
Yeah, she
I need to
does.
know what Brent, your thoughts or,
Brent thinks the same thing we all do. There needs to be a light out there, but
Yeah.
Well,
maybe if that gets going.
I'm
maybe
asking
that'll
about,
help.
I'm asking about the ordinance that Kat has brought for us, if we've asked questions, if there's something else you need to ask, we
I
need
don't
to,
have any more questions to ask.
okay.
Can I ask something? The business in Sheridan, does it sit on two highways?
No, just 38.
What is to your left and right on that one? Like your building, is there something to the left and to the right of your building?
To the left is our liquor store in Sheridan
Yeah,
and a flower, the building has a flower shop and our liquor store that's just south of it. To the north of it is the old Sure Fine building. I think Webster boy owns it. He's an attorney in Westfield.
right, but is the other side sitting on another street? Are you on the L for two different streets?
Do you know Sheridan?
Somewhat,
Okay, say you were at the four-way stop at the park and you're coming up 38 White Avenue at 6th Street, it makes a turn.
correct.
There's a lot, a house right there on the corner. There's this lot, used to be the Sure Fine. There's our new building,
Yeah,
and then there's our old brick building where the liquor store is.
yeah.
So we're at 7th, the thing turns at 6th.
That's the Angle Road that heads out different,
It
right?
goes it goes in town, goes up Main Street, and then comes out to Kirklin, you know, on the other side.
So you're.
But we're on the 7th Street comes up at a T
Right.
there,
Who's behind you there? Are there residents behind you?
to the west. We
Okay.
face west, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all
Would
residential.
you be opposed to, say if this went through, would you be opposed to putting a privacy fence up between you and the neighbor behind you? Just to block off deliveries, dumpsters, stuff like that?
You mean,
which
you
is
mean on the
dangerous.
alley?
No, cause if you're sitting this way or that way, you can have your lot, but then you have Jamesy's lot, would you be opposed to putting a privacy fence up just between that residence?
I thought he already had one.
I have one there, but
Partial,
yeah, I don't know, it's only,
or 50-50. I mean, it's up to you, Jamesy, it's things that need to be discussed if this goes through, you know? Cause I'm happy, I'm glad they wanna bring something here, but you're also a resident, you know, so everybody's gotta talk.
you know, one thing that I, hopefully I'm not getting off on a tangent, I'm sorry if I am. But when you look at downtown, the way it was designed years ago, before my time, before anybody sitting there's time, you're a block north or south of two main highways here, where all the businesses, why weren't they built here at this main intersection where two highways meet? Why weren't all those buildings right here instead of over here? Has anybody ever thought about that? I mean,
Is there an
it's a
answer
good
for
question.
that?
No,
No,
I
we
don't,
don't know.
why were all those buildings built one block south of this major intersection and our lights one block south?
I would think because I have a big house and maybe somebody important lived in my house and they want nobody there, no. That's just joking.
Right, I get it, I just, you know, is there a reason that the old people years ago wanted to make sure we stayed off two main highways,
Could be.
you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready to either proceed or we're gonna table,
Well, you also had railroad,
so.
you know.
Yeah, one north of town.
They were probably dirt roads back when the buildings were built.
Well, you're,
It's horse and buggy
The
days.
Monon
Yeah.
Trail and everything else.
I make a motion that we pass this ordinance and let her get started with the attorney what she needs to do.
Well, we have to do this correctly. If you would like my cheat sheet,
You can read it.
If it passes, it'll be 2025-7-1.
I have a question. Will we require that a grass easement be between the sidewalk and the parking lot? Cause I just looked at the street view of your building in Sheridan, and it goes right from the street to parking lot. It's just one thing of asphalt.
So sidewalk is asphalt there?
And, yeah, sidewalk to asphalt,
So
there's no
you-
grass.
So you're asking to keep the street lawn?
Yes.
That would be
that probably is addressed in your commitments when it talks about,
Well, the sidewalks will go parallel with the backside of the right of way. 5 feet ADA compliant.
So like in front of my house, that grass has to stay all the way to the corner. Even though it's messed up from that lot being abandoned for so long, it has to be brought back to,
The backside of the sidewalk will have to run parallel with the backside of the right of way.
Okay.
It'll have to be 5 feet wide for ADA compliant. And then any space between the sidewalk and the curb and gutter will have to match downtown, either grass, mulch, decorative trees,
Okay.
whatever.
alright.
Okay.
Was that 25-7-14?
1.
Oh, you said 1, okay, sorry. I was putting the date on it.
Either that or we have a lot of ordinances.
No, I was just
passed.
thinking of the date. I can either help this with Jerry's ordinance or with his motion, cause we're gonna make a motion for ordinance 2025-7-1 by title only. And that's an ordinance amending the Unified Development Ordinance of Clinton County, Indiana. So we have a motion for reading by title only.
and what does this cover? The okay for her to move ahead?
We
that we're
have
okay?
several of these to pass first, we're not done yet,
Okay,
so
alright,
I'm just
yep.
doing it correctly.
if you don't, she's gotta read this whole thing to you.
So, I have a motion on the floor.
Need a second.
I second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. So we have, is that 3?
That's 3.
Okay.
I don't think we're ready.
All right, before we go to the next
What-
motion.
Do they have to vote no or abstain? There, the other two. Do you need a no or an abstain from them?
Abstain, right?
I'm letting
You
Jay
abstain?
answer.
So, yeah, did you call for all those opposed?
No.
Well, do that.
Okay, all those opposed?
Aye.
What?
Opposed.
Okay, so we got 2 opposed then.
I
Sorry.
don't think we're ready by any means. Too much stuff to do yet.
Well, all you're doing is allowing her to go forward with
Her process,
the
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be a question of a liquor store on Main Street, or if it's three individual properties, that it might have to move to the middle or to 38th Street. That's gonna be a problem that's gonna come up in the future. We already know this because it's been expressed, and people ain't here, but it will come. But for you to move on, we need to do everything we can to keep you going forward.
I make a motion to pass ordinance 2025-7-1, an ordinance amending the Unified Development Ordinance of Clinton County, Indiana, on first reading.
A second.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. We have 3. All those opposed? 2 opposed. I make a motion to suspend the rules to pass ordinance 2025-7-1 at the same meeting as the first vote.
I think that has to carry unanimously.
You're right.
So go ahead.
So I have a motion.
A second.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. We only have 3. All those opposed? 2.
So if we're not going to vote on second reading. That'll come up next meeting. You
So
can
we-
either wait or you can have a special meeting.
So we can't finish this tonight because not everyone's in favor. So we have to wait till the next meeting to have a second reading. So
Can I ask a question?
that's why we have to go through the process and do it correctly, so we follow the guidelines.
If you okay it here, does it still have to go to area plan to be okay there?
I think
The
area
answer to
planning,
that
yeah,
is yes and no. The area plan has
Given a favorable.
is given a favorable recommendation. The final decision on whether to rezone lies with the town council. After it's rezoned, then the developer will have to develop a site plan
Yeah.
that shows this is what it's gonna look like, this is where the setbacks are, this is where the sidewalk is. At that time, all of that will have to be approved. The owner at that stage, and the APC. Okay. So, there's a lot yet to be done, and a lot of it is gonna be determined by what, the Department of Transportation says. You know, they're gonna tell you where you can't have, curb cuts.
And that's controlled by Montgomery County.
Well, that's where that office is, yeah.
Here in Clinton County, that's a different story.
So I'm gonna ask Tara to add this to our agenda for next month, like to finish the second reading and for this ordinance, so. So
And
we're,
what will we go through on that day?
There'll just be a vote on this, on the second reading.
this
It only
ordinance.
takes 2 readings to pass it.
3 people voting yes on 2 readings?
Yeah, on 3 well, actually, there'll just be 1 reading, because we've already passed it on first reading. It takes 2.
But on the second reading, at this meeting, it had to all be in favor. Since it's not all in favor, we can't pass it
Because you're
tonight.
I
suspending the rules.
understand that, how many do we have to have on the next reading was my question. How many have to say yes on the next?
3.
Great.
Okay.
We just can't do it tonight, so.
And you could have a special, if you wanted to call a special meeting, you could. But you'd have to give the notice and do all the things you have to do for a special meeting.
How quick are you thinking about moving on this? How quick are you thinking about moving on this? Because
We've already got estimates on fixing the building down there and talking to people about what it's gonna cost to build one here.
so basically you're gonna move from
The
that.
closing was supposed to be tomorrow.
I know. Things got red tape.
Yeah.
But
I
moving
understand.
from there temporary to the end, correct? And then as this one's getting built, then that's to get out from the lease and the rent where
The
they're
lease
at, where she's
isn't up
at.
until next April, I
And you
believe.
figure by then you'll have the other property
We
ready
were
just
thinking
to
we
move.
would have this one ready
Oh,
by
wow,
then.
yeah. What's
There's
your
a
thoughts on the
possibility.
other property?
Plan B was to go, if we have to go there,
Yeah,
go
first or
there, but we
whatever,
don't
yeah.
wanna move that stuff twice, you know, but
that's,
it
I
can,
get it, yeah.
red tape, it happens, you know.
What's your plans if this goes through, what's your plans, because I know it's a two property deal, what do you plan on with the other one? Do you have any idea? Or just like
Probably
open
seeing if we can rent it to you for your golf shop or.
coffee shop and a drive-through, you might
There you
get
go.
lucky there.
There you go.
But no, but it would be like merchants or something like that, you're thinking? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go
We're gonna
ahead.
get rid of the eyesore.
We're gonna finish,
Absolutely.
we're gonna finish on with our meeting, so.
Okay. We'll keep pushing on it.
Our next, new business is our sidewalk enhancement applications. We have one at 208 West Madison and 103 Perry Street. Billy, did you wanna say anything on these
Yeah,
sidewalk
I've got,
applications, or?
I've solicited 3 bids.
Billy, do you have copies of the other two, cause you only gave me this now?
Okay, I solicited for 3 bids. I only got 1, bid back by, itemized bid, and then I got 1 bid on my phone that he did not send a bid through on email. And then I had 1 no-show, for the 208 West Madison Street. Metzinger Construction bid $3,250. And on the 103 North Perry Street, Metzinger Construction bid $2,200. And that's that one. And then, Miller Outdoor, Cody Miller, gave me a bid over my phone of $3,750 each.
On both of them?
On each, yes.
Okay,
$3,750 on the 208 West Madison, and
okay.
$3,750 on the 103 North Perry. And then Manning Concrete was a no-show.
Who's the other one?
Manning,
Manning, okay.
Manning Concrete.
And who's Cody with?
Cody Miller is the owner of Miller Outdoor.
That's who did one of them last year, I remember.
Yes.
Okay.
They don't know what square it is.
I don't see, any problems with either one of these. I looked at both of them. Does anybody else see you don't see any issues on either one of these, do you, Billy, on the?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I've worked with Metzinger Construction quite a bit. I've worked with Miller Outdoor. Manning, we've been introduced before. He bid, but never got a job. So I don't see any trouble with any of these.
So, the second bid is the same price for both of them. Each one is $3,700.
Each one is $3,750 for outdoor.
Even though the 103 Perry is almost 20 feet less.
That was my question.
That would not be a very smart decision.
Well, I make a motion that we accept Metzinger Construction bid, like his bid that his estimate was $33,250 for Madison and $2,200 for Perry Street.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand, and that motion carries for the sidewalk enhancement. Thanks for getting those,
Oh, you're
bids
welcome.
and stuff, Billy. We're going to start in our old business now. Our sanitary sewer rehabilitation project. We have some invoices in our packet here from Commonwealth Engineering, Cornerstone Grants. There's 2 invoices in there from her.
Amy said there's a possibility that you guys may need to do a special meeting because in situ form, they're waiting on some paperwork and Cornerstone cannot approve it until they get it, and they didn't get it in time for the meeting. And there's some deadlines coming up. So if she comes back and says there has to be a special meeting, I will send out an email. Are you guys getting my emails? Cause I don't hardly ever hear from anybody back but Mindy.
I answer them. I just put yes, no, hello.
Yeah, sometimes you. I don't hear from.
I haven't gotten any in a long time.
Does your wife check your emails? Cause I can tell you what email we have. It's the same one that's been in there for a long time, so.
It ain't showed up on my phone.
Usually
What's your
Mindy,
email that
me,
you
and
use?
Brett.
Jerry Fawcett at yahoo.com.
All 3 of them.
I'll have to see what's,
Small caps.
And Walt,
Jerry Fawcett at Yahoo.
sometimes Walt.
If there's a special meeting request come out, I will actually call or contact people if I have to. I'll get people to answer me.
Okay.
So if there's a special meeting request, I'll take care of it.
Oh, that was why we take care of the other thing too.
I make a motion that we, accept and, have Tara pay, Commonwealth Engineering invoice in the amount of $19,626.74. And there's 2 Cornerstone invoices, one's dated on 6/5 and one's dated on 6/6, and they're both in the amount of $8,000. So that would be total of $16,000 for Cornerstone. And she has them itemized out on both of these invoices on here, so that's why they're separate.
I second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve these invoices. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
The Cornerstone, those 2 will be paid for by the Okra grant, and the Commonwealth is by SRF. And then I'll let you know, Mindy, if she wants you guys to hold a special meeting.
Okay.
Because the expiration date for the Okra funds is July 31st.
Okay. Billy, we're ready for you on the park.
Okay. The only thing I've got for the park is we are ready to go get 6 more benches that have been donated. So as soon as we schedule a trip to Evansville, we will go pick up 6 more park benches. And then we've got enough caps that we, along with the 6 park benches, we're going to start replacing trash receptacles at the park made out of the same material. And then we'll just go from there, and we'll continue to take donations for benches. We'll just find places to put them.
Have you guys all seen them at the park? They're really nice.
If somebody were to donate a bench without the caps, what's the price on it?
$519.50.
Okay.
And you get a plaque we pay for and have it engraved.
Our trash can's gonna be like that sort of too.
Yeah,
Trash cans can
I
do
would
that
love for
if
people
you
to
want
donate
plaque
trash
on the
cans.
I'm just saying, I mean,
Yeah.
and people donate trash cans.
You want
too,
your
because-
name on a trash can?
Well, you
Hey,
get
don't,
benches all day long, but you need someone to put trash in.
wait,
too.
yeah, don't put them off on it, we really want people to be able to
Yeah.
donate and get a,
One at a time
plaque.
on
It
your
saves
talking,
us,
so.
thank you, it saves us money.
Yeah,
So I will put a plaque on anything they wanna donate.
because I know my wife and I have been thinking about it, but I didn't know what the price was on the benches.
Yeah, the
And then if
benches are
trash
five,
cans.
the benches are $519.50, for a full donation, and then, the town buys a plaque, has it engraved, and mounts on the bench.
Right.
I would like to just add though that the Metzinger that donated all the concrete pads, those look so nice at the park with
Yeah,
those
they did.
benches on it. He did a fabulous job on that,
They
so
did a really good job.
I'm very appreciative of him doing that, so.
And he'll be more than happy to do more if we have more benches to install.
Okay.
And then once the benches are complete, of course, you know, we'll do, the trash receptacles all throughout the park. And then we want to start developing a little kiddie park, with the kiddie playground equipment and kiddie picnic tables and benches. And then we eventually wanna have that area fenced in, so that gives, the parents can just go in and turn loose their kids and let them run and not have to worry about them running off.
I know there's been stuff taken out of the park the past few years, but nothing to replace it, and so like, we really wanna try to improve the park, of course, as little as possible, so.
Anything else on the park or?
No, that's it.
Okay, I'm ready for you and your superintendent.
I've got a couple of things to touch on outside of what I've already given you as an update. A fellow by the name of Steve Reeve, called me yesterday, and you have a printout of the email that he sent me this morning. I told him I wanted a detailed, email of what he was looking for and the reason why they are doing this. Apparently there is a, fellow by the name of John Russell in Michigan Town that was diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer. And they're wanting to put together a bike ride and, some events, downtown on East Madison Street. And they will be requesting that East Madison between Maine and Ohio be shut down for the event. I did tell him that I would, give the council copies of all of this. I could not talk on his behalf. I could not, make a decision, but that he would have to be at the August council meeting and present what he wants done to the council. And then, that way the council can get firsthand information from him, and then the council can approve or disapprove whatever, at the next meeting.
Yeah, we can, the only thing I was thinking of is like, I see that you have, or he has on here that, we have, Antique Cellar, we have the nail shop, we have Gary's Hair Salon there.
Yeah, I informed him yesterday that, the antique store, the nail salon, the beauty shop.
And they're busy on Saturdays.
Was all in that area, and that's why I said that he would have to come to the council meeting.
Okay.
Because it was him that was requesting it. I couldn't present it.
I'm not
Or
sure that
decision.
Steve is like actually running it, I think he's just helping.
Yeah, well,
But
either.
he's just trying to help get it, yeah.
The email that I sent back to him this morning, I said him or a representative would have to come to
Come
the
and talk
council
about it.
meeting in August and present it before the council himself.
Would
before
it
a
be
decision.
better for them to like shut off Madison on the other side? And use some of the Farmers Bank parking lot and block that side of the street
Well,
off?
that would be something that you would have to talk with him about. I it's.
I mean, that way you're not blocking off the businesses
Yeah,
down here.
and he did say that it would be only from 11 to 2. But like I said, I told him that he would have to come to the August meeting and present that himself.
This says 9 to 6.
This says 9 to 6 is why I didn't wanna do it all day.
Alright, well, he told me 11 to 2, but apparently it's 9 to 6 on here.
If it's later, then that wouldn't matter.
I mean, I know Steve and I can tell him, like, anybody else having concerns about that time frame,
What
or
time do the stores close on Saturday?
they close at 5.
Oh.
So that would be the whole time they were open, if they opened 10 to 5.
Well, and then you have apartments that park on Madison too.
Yeah,
Well, like I said, I told him that he needed to come to the council
Right.
meeting in August, present what he wanted to do and why to the council.
okay.
And then, the council would get firsthand knowledge of it, firsthand information, and then they could make the decision then.
Okay,
Do you want me to put them on
August,
agenda?
yeah. Is there anything else on yours, Billy? that you have on
yeah.
there?
He's showing it August 16 though, that's when they're doing it.
It would be the Monday before he wants to do it. My thought was, could he
Yes,
do whatever he's doing at the park? You know, I don't know.
She wanted to.
There was a big old parking lot there.
Could they do it at the park then? I mean, would that,
It's, that would be, you would have to talk to him.
okay, I mean,
Because I think they're having it at the Legion, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be the reason, yeah, because the 11th would be our meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and then the 16th is the following, what, Friday, Saturday?
Saturday.
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I'm just thinking that's cutting him awful
I
short.
mean, I can throw
You
some,
guys say no.
I can
Right.
throw some ideas back, cause they're not really here to discuss it, but,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Go ahead, Billy.
And then I've got one more item. I got the report back from the water tower inspection that we had done, last month. The only major concern or recommendation they had was to get it cleaned, exterior. So that will be, one of the things that we will be looking at, having it, pressure washed with a, special type of detergent, but we'll have to, get prices on that and figure out, depreciation money to cover that. That's the only thing that they had a concern about was just having it cleaned on the outside.
Okay, the inside was all good and everything?
The inside had some, sediment, but not enough to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, to have cleaned. That will be on the next time we have to clean it, we'll do inside and out.
What, they wanna clean the outside now?
That was the recommendation,
How long, when was that when we redid that?
6 years ago.
It's looking pretty
In
dirty.
2019 is when it was done, inside and out.
I think it was built in 2003, right?
Somewhere in that neighborhood, yes.
That's the year Courtney was born, that's why I remember.
Yeah. And then in 2019, it was completely refurbished, top to bottom, inside and out.
So it's just a cleaning, no painting, no?
No, it's just
there's no, the integrity of the paint still holds. There's no rust, no.
Basically, just power wash it.
Everything just needs to be power washed with a special detergent, to, prohibit mold and mildew. But yeah, that'll be something that, we'll be getting prices for and seeing what we can do between now and that other.
Do you have anything else under review? The only thing I wanted to add on your, under review is, we are very sorry to hear about your stepmom.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to like, tell you that I know you only took like 1 day of like your bereavement pay. And I just wanted, I know it was last minute for you to go down and come back, and so I just wanted to thank you for, you only did the 1 day, but
Yeah, thank you.
you had to get back to work, I realize that, but.
Yeah, we all have to make a living.
It's very much appreciated, Billy.
Thank you.
We're ready for, Brendan.
Okay, we'll start off with the activity for the last, since the last meeting, we've had 22 calls for service, Out of that, 4 of those were ordinance warnings, and I believe they've all been abated from what I've checked. I think they were all grass. Also had 1 misdemeanor warrant arrest and 1 felony warrant arrest involved in that. Had 19 traffic stops and issued 16 warnings and 4 infractions. The only other thing I really have to report, Kirk's Crossing, we had pretty good staff there, and didn't have any major incidents to report on that. Everything went pretty smooth both nights up there and all day on Saturday, so equipment's doing okay, vehicles are fine. Right now the staff is holding fine, so nothing to really report.
Quick question, now, our ordinances now, didn't we pass it to where they come through the office, Tara?
If they have to pay.
Okay. Has that been working out? Have we not come
We
across
have,
that
I
yet?
haven't had a single one since you guys passed that.
Okay.
We've been close sometimes.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we'll
and
try.
after 30 days, I think, I'd have to read, but I think it's sent it to.
I mean, it's close that it works and we don't have it, but
Compliance
I
is
just
the
didn't know
goal,
how that was
so if
working
they-
out.
If they comply, then
We've
Right.
had, and
It
we've also
doesn't
had
go that far.
3 people
Right.
renew their golf carts.
Right.
Okay. Okay, we're ready for, Tara for report treasurer items.
Alright, you guys have the revenue report, appropriation report. Here is your APP vouchers. Sign it. And your billing adjustments last month, and your allowance APVs. And then, there's been a couple invoices come in since I closed and printed the APC register. APV register, I mean. And you guys have a copy of those. The water solutions for 1014.81 and utility supply for 653.12. I would just assume get those approved instead of having to put the one, especially over $1,000 on the next ones.
I make a motion that we approve the invoice for Water Solutions Unlimited in the amount of $1,014.81. And also for Utility Supply Company in the amount of $653.12.
So we have a motion
Second.
and a second for these invoices. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. And then did I give you guys a copy of this Oprah flyer? Okay. He, this is just kind of an FYI, he stopped in and spoke to me a few weeks ago, actually spent quite a bit of time in here, just kind of trying to find more out about Oprah. I did stress to him that I'm hoping that we get the stormwater planning grant, like hint, but you know. And then there's a list on there of all the things that they have grants for, and so what was interesting to me is, I don't know if you guys would ever wanna look into the blight clearance program, because I can think of a couple of them that would probably qualify for that, depending on what their requirements are for it, but, you know, and there's the one that has been discussed in the past, so I don't know if you guys want more information about that or not, but it's there. Coffee with the commish. He just sent this to me over the weekend. Jordan Brewer is going to be here, and that's why I asked you earlier to call me and you didn't, because you're like, I'll call you. It was like noon and I never heard from you.
Me?
Uh-huh,
I don't know.
yeah. So he is wanting to know if you could have like coffee here and decaf.
Honey?
He said he'd pay for it, but he wanted me to set up having coffee here.
It's
Just
better-
regular coffee?
Yeah,
Coffee and decaf, that's all he
Absolutely.
said.
I don't see any problem.
He said that, you know, he'd pay for it. He just-
I tried to answer, but with my busy day, I don't.
Yeah.
Best just to get a hold of her, cause she takes care of the heavy
You
work.
boss.
But thank you.
You need the flyer tomorrow. So anyway, he would like all the council members here, which he originally had planned on having it in the morning, and I said, well, a couple of them I know work full-time jobs, actually 3 of you.
And so I didn't think he'd be able to come, and so he looked at his schedule and it settled on July 22nd at 6 p.m.
Okay.
It's a good time. He said that ask him questions about anything in the county. It won't just be Kirkland residents that's invited. I put it on Facebook. He's probably gonna be putting it out there, so it could be somebody from Rossville.
Right.
Nobody's, prohibited from coming, so.
Everything in Clinton County?
Huh?
Everything in Clinton County?
Well, I mean, he's a commissioner.
Yeah.
So, they cover more than just Kirkland, so I just think it's great. In the 8 years I've worked here, not one time have I seen a commissioner try to do some outreach and say, hey, here I am, come talk to me. So, anyway, there's that. And then there's another flyer that Mindy could probably talk to you more about. It's, RCAP board training.
Yeah, like Tara's been noticing, like, since the town, or for clerk treasurer, they keep making all of these changes and they're adding more stuff. Well, RCAP is willing to come in and do some extra training sessions for the council so that we can keep on top of topics that are coming up that we might be faced with. So they've got a couple of dates on here for July 21st and then July 28th, and they've got the times at the bottom down here. And there may be other towns that's coming to this too, not just for us. So please take advantage of this if you can, because I think it would be very informational, very helpful for us.
Do you guys all think that you can? Because, I hate for them to pick us to do this for, and then our council members not show up.
I tried to tell them to do it on a Monday night, because I know, like, if we ever have special meetings, we try to do them on a Monday night. So I tried to keep it on a Monday night so we would maybe be more flexible for that, but.
Is it gonna be here?
Are they gonna address the funding issues that you're gonna be facing?
Yes, they have, like, manage information's the first one, the next one is technical and financial. So they are gonna.
Cause that's, I think,
Yeah.
I just got done with a
Well, there's not a lot of, there's not as much information out yet about that as there should be. Like, just an FYI, I hope that you guys, and I know I've said this more than once in a meeting, you guys need to watch this legislation that's coming out. Starting in 2027, the board's gonna have to do, and I'd have to look to see if it's some kind of utility training once every 4 years. So there's a lot of changes coming up, and I had to resubmit a CFA 1 by July 11th, even though I didn't have a campaign committee open. They made it so that we had to reopen one as long as you're in office, even if you plan on never running again. So I don't know if there's been any changes necessarily to you guys, but there's a lot of information, Jay can tell you, that came out, and so it's worth the read, whether it's boring or not. If I hadn't read it, I would have gotten fined for each day I didn't have my CFA 1.
So that's why I'm kind of glad that RCAP is offering this for free for us and other communities to come in,
and I think it's also how to
how
to run a council too. I think there's, from what I understand, that too. How to.
Very informational. It's gonna be at the town hall. It's here, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like,
Alright.
July 21st at 6, and then July 28th at 6. And there's different times, like one's in at 7:30, one's in at 8:30.
Jerry, will you be able to be here, you think? Okay.
I can.
Okay.
Good. I'll tell TJ.
And then, I think we're ready to move on to the adjustments, right?
Let me
Or do
see
you
what
have
other
something
notes
else
I
in
made.
there?
I think there's a couple little things that I just wanted to mention to you guys. Delta Dental, I know this is like gonna be really earth shattering, but I did want you to know, it went up, the town portion, $13.32 for the year. That's like $1 something a month for the town portion. Medical is going up, they gave us a baseline of about 8%, because medical tends to go up every year. They won't send out the exact cost until August 11th. Okay, so, they just told us when we budget to use the baseline of about 8%. Amy Miller did not submit your stormwater planning grant. And I was surprised when I found out that she didn't tell anybody else, like Maureen was surprised to hear too. She's committed to doing it in the August, but she had some personal issues that came up, which it's not up to me to say what, but I just want to let you know that it was not submitted in May, but she's committed to doing it in August, which is kind of good because Billy took a lot of pictures when all that flooding was going on.
Okay,
And those need to go with that application.
maybe it worked out for the best then, so that will.
I mean, it delayed
We
it
got the
3
pictures,
months,
we got
but.
the pictures too.
Absolutely, and she's sorry, but just wanna let you know about that, and, budget, I know I sent you guys an email asking if you wanted to have a budget meeting. You guys know it doesn't have to be anything publicized, we just kinda get together. I've already asked the 2 department heads to give me kind of, you know, anything that they're hoping for next year, but my thoughts on it personally is that, you know, usually every year you can increase it, but there's a lot of unknowns about this legislation, and, you know, where I can see a little bit, I say we don't put it, you know, try to keep it close to what it is now until we see the effect of, you know, you guys need to read about the lit changes, which we already get our lit from the county, but because we're under 3,500 people, we can't, like, there's towns out there that's having to create their own, that don't already get them, so at least we're not looking at that. But this new property tax reform, we need to see how it's gonna affect us before we plan anything huge, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm more of a saver than a spender.
and something on that note too, NDOT immediately suspended all CC and G grants till further notice. So we won't be doing the community crossing matching grants till whenever.
No, I think it's just the one cycle until they could look
January.
into all the different yeah, and that our match is going down. From, it was 25%, now our match will only be 20%. So that's a good thing. A lot of things weren't so good that came into legislation. You know, as a homeowner, I'm thrilled, you know, it's not gonna make a big difference. I think what the maximum is like $300 that people might see. But as a clerk treasurer, I see more negative than positive for us, so.
Okay.
I'm gonna stress again, every meeting, please read it. Please read it and understand what's in there,
Okay.
okay? And that's it.
And we have to do the
Sewer
adjustments.
Well, that was my part,
Okay.
yeah, so now the adjustments.
The first adjustment, I need to, have Craig verify something for us, because we tabled it last meeting, because you weren't here. We need to know more information about the Tegan Olin, leak that happened.
Up there in the upper apartment, right?
It's where Elizabeth
101,
Birch
101 South,
Yeah, 101 South, yes.
Suite C or B, the upstairs. It was a toilet.
Their issue is they don't know, I mean, there needs to be an adjustment done, but 1 versus 2 months is what.
Yeah, it was
Here's-
February and
here's the
March, we
thing.
didn't know what happened, why there's 2 different
Some-
months.
Some people know, some don't. You know, the toilet's running, some people they don't understand.
Yeah.
And then some people do. They hear it, there's a problem. So she notified us of it. Actually, we didn't even get notified. When Sam got the water bill is when we took care of it, or Chuck got the post, the
No.
water's being ran.
So the first door hanger was sent on 12/24 to Elizabeth, just the apartment, because that's where we usually start. And then Carla, when she didn't hear anything else the next month, she sent a second door hanger and she notified Sammy. And then Sam contacted her the same day and said that she would send maintenance.
And I got the report on that and I fixed it. When it stopped, is the day I fixed it. You know, on the, as far as your chart. But before that, they never claimed it. I think it was a door hanger, wasn't it? That went to Chuck from you, Bill?
Yeah.
I think that's because they never claimed it. So on that, it doesn't matter to me what way we go, whoever's names it in, you know.
So on 2/17, she asked if the leak was still there. This is Carla writing this down. We're talking about Sammy, and she said, I told her yes. She said she would send the maintenance guy again to check.
Mhm.
So I guess whenever they're fixing it, they're not calling to say, hey, do we still have it? You know, we send door hangers, and unless a person wants to
Right,
We're
I
not gonna
go,
send them
and I
every
do
week.
their maintenance for them, I go fix it, I tell Dan, I tell Sam, it's done.
So
I
it was
figure
fixed the first time because she's saying that she would send maintenance, and I guess
It was never
maybe
fixed,
she didn't.
she didn't. It was never fixed, it was, I don't know what you wanna call it, we went and evaluated it, and then I went back, what was it, a week or two later, and fixed it. Had to put it on the schedule.
Yeah, she then on 2/19, she asked me again if I could check whether the water leak was still showing in the system. I told her yes. And then on 2/24, the leak was fixed.
Yes.
So between 12/24 and 2/24, the question is, and why they wanted to wait for you, because we knew you were the maintenance man, is does the council approve 1 month or 2 months? You know, generally, if we tell somebody they have a leak and they don't fix it, they ignore it, why should the town lose money and all the chemicals that go through the system for 2 months when they could have fixed it the first month?
That was
Okay,
our
so,
delay.
so it's not that it's a month. We went up there the first time, it was a stuck fill valve, alright? So we figured things were fixed. Second time, it was, we changed out the flapper and stuff. I would probably just 1 month.
And any time that you fix somebody's, they or you stop in and say, hey, can you guys look in your system? Because we can tell if something's been fixed or not. But we're not gonna watch everybody's meter, because we're not babysitters.
I figure if I do a job for them, that's their responsibility to contact you.
Okay, so that's just why they wanted to wait for you to see if
Yeah.
1 month versus 2.
Yeah.
So,
I'll make a motion, we allow all the
leak adjustments, but we only wanna pay the 1 month for the tabled one? Okay,
So just 1 month.
for, Tecan,
Okay.
and then the other ones will approve all the other leak adjustments.
So Walt, you made the motion.
Yeah.
Anybody second?
Second.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries, I think. Yeah.
Hey, just for you folks' information, the computer and utility clerk's computer will show you the day that you had a leak. As you see the black line, that was the day that they filled their pool. And of course, he has had the same, he didn't get as much water as they did, but, you know, so, you know, it's, but that is available.
I like our new water meters.
I know I've used it, 'cause I had Craig take care of a toilet leak.
I'm gonna move down to me, I had tabled some things from last month. I know, like, I asked Jay to help me look at some meeting guidelines.
I've not done that yet.
That's okay. But then the second thing is, I know you've been working on this one, was we were talking about, like doing single meters at our apartments instead of having everybody on one meter. And then, I know you wanna finish, Jay has an idea on how to maybe address this.
My concern is if you go in these older buildings and say, okay, we're gonna have separate meters for the upstairs and the downstairs and that, you're gonna have to totally replumb those buildings, and you got plaster walls and this and that. You're gonna have a lot of landlords upset.
Yeah.
And I understand you don't like losing out on your minimums. I think the way to approach it is the minimum is based on the number of separate users. So if you have 3 units in that building, and they have 1 meter, the minimum on that meter is 3 times the minimum.
I think that's how the ordinance online reads too, right? Isn't it?
It's sketchy on that one, but, yeah.
That's why I was like, we don't understand it like you do, Jay.
Well,
But, I mean, that's something, maybe we could kind of finalize and look at that to see if
I
that's
mean, we
something.
can graft something to
Okay.
it, you know,
Is everybody-
and make it clear
is everybody okay
that
with
the
that?
number of users
Okay.
If it's an apartment building and there's only one meter, shouldn't that not be residential? Shouldn't that be commercial?
Well, if there's 3 people in that 1 meter, then what we do is an ordinance for it to where, so instead of going through the cost of running new water lines and new meters, we just subject that to 3 minimums.
Yeah, that's what he just said,
And
but I
then
said,
they
shouldn't
were-
that be commercial instead of residential? And then rates total different?
And if you look at ordinance on line 51.12, it talks about multiple use of single meters.
Yeah.
And then 50.04 talks about just water meters.
Anything commercial gets water rate less trash is about what it is right now.
And it would be very cost prohibitive for these landlords to have to, you know.
Well, here's the thing, 10, 15 years ago when they came into town, it wasn't Billy, whoever was here then, they should have probably said something when all the buildings got renovated.
I know,
separate
but-
meters, but now,
I
who
was
do you
here
put it
and
on?
some of those, when they say they were gonna buy the buildings and they're gonna redo them, they weren't talking about apartments at that time.
Well, I
After
think
they
they,
got there, then they said, oh, there's space here, we could use these for apartments. So it was already like in the process and that wasn't thought of, you know?
I don't know if that would work, because if you got 3 people, like our building next to us is abandoned, if he doesn't pay that, which he didn't for 3 months, our water gets shut off because he didn't pay his portion.
Right,
And
and
that
that's-
isn't quite,
Right.
I don't see how you could do that.
Right, everybody needs at
It
least a
would
way to
cause a
shut
lot
off
of-
their individual.
I think it would
Right.
be not a good idea.
And like I spoke to
When-
Billy, go ahead.
When we did the water project in 2019, I approached Chip and Dan about this particular item. Setting multiple setters for multiple units in all of these buildings, and they were for it. They thought it was great, okay? So while we had the contractors in, we spent the money and had separate setters set for every place that was available at that time, with the understanding that they were going to split each unit, every business, every apartment, and have their own meter. Town did our part, they failed.
Okay, so like 101, we got Ann up front, we got the center one downstairs, and we got 2 more up top.
Yeah, some
Are
of
there
those
4,
have
are there
been
4
added.
meters in that pit?
Some of those have been added since the 2019 project, but it still doesn't take them away from what they.
No, I'm just saying that are there sufficient meters for all these that are in place for them to separate?
At the time in 2019,
Whatever they
for
had
the
then?
amount of everything was sufficient.
Okay.
And they were supposed to handle their part by splitting each and every one and having its own meter. Because
Right,
right
because-
now, we've got people that live in apartments that
We
don't
got
pay their
12
water
we got
bills.
12
We can't
people.
shut it off because.
We got
there's
12
business.
people that could be paying minimum right now.
And I'm not even so worried about that as the fairness of, and I don't wanna cost anybody money. I just wanna be able to treat everybody else out here fair, that if I shut off Joe Blow over here for not paying his bill, this person doesn't get shut off because they're attached to a business and that's not right.
And the apartment, people living in apartments are gonna use more than minimum anyway, other than a business.
Correct, we are a town, I don't wanna see nobody have to spend no money, but we have a big problem with water. We just raised it, how many percent, okay? So we got 3 people off of 1 business, I am friends with Dan and I am friends with Chip, but what's right is right, okay? So somehow we need to split it, but back when all that came up, you're saying that at the time there were sufficient meters,
At the time, there were sufficient, we
gotta
installed enough meter setters, extra meter setters for them to do whatever they needed to do.
Right, so we need to figure out what was installed then, and now if there's more, who's responsible? Even if, I don't know how it's gonna go, whether the town or whether people gotta pay. It's gonna pay off in the end if we separate these meters, because we're gonna have everybody paying what you pay. You can't have 1 building with 3 people.
It's been like that for
For
years.
every.
No, and I
every-
understand that, and then you gotta go with the grandfather clause, I'm sure that's gonna get thrown in the face.
And,
When it came into construction, before you, Billy,
yeah,
they should have put that in effect. If, it don't matter now or later, and nobody would know, it wouldn't be a board member to know, because nobody knows that thing,
Well,
It's things that come
at
up.
that time, the grandfather clause wouldn't work because everything's been developed since then. It wasn't existing at that time.
Right.
So everything's been developed after that, so the grandfather clause wouldn't even come into effect.
I'm not trying to say
New taps and new meters would be the responsibility of the property owner.
Right, and I can see where that's gonna bring, and I'm just looking, I've not spoken with nobody, know nothing, but I can see where if that ever gets pushed, you're gonna have lawyers, you're gonna have litigation, everything's gonna go in. There's gonna have to be agreement and, on something like that. But I do believe everybody should be metered separately. These buildings should not be running on three. But it's gone on for so long, there is a big case there, and this is not saying, I've not talked to nobody, but me as a businessman, I know where I would use my angle. Well, when we redid this, nothing was said, and now they're wanting to put this on me, and I gotta pay all the expense. So it might come to a point to where we're responsible for a certain percentage they are, but it will, in the end, it'll pay off. But in the beginning, the town will have to spend some money, they spend some money and come to an agreement.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like how Dr. Chuck would have bought them maybe from Katie Real Estate and not knowing that Katie should?
I think anytime something gets bought around here, they should have to update. Just like what Billy did when we went to the distillery. All right, he separated them and he separated the.
Is there a way to
the banquet room.
split, like, and I don't know how it works out there, like the plumbing going in, is there a way to put like 3 or 4 different shut-offs on one?
You can.
Probably not, maybe?
You can,
To prevent them spending all that
as
money?
long as I've got a meter pit area, whether outside or inside a building that I have access to. We can bring in the service line into the building, build a manifold and tie in 2, 3, 4 meters there. Set your
Yes.
meters and then they can plumb from the meters to wherever they need to go.
Right, I've done this in Frankfurt. I've had a quadruplex that had 4 rentals. The landlord pays the minimum, but you have certain tenants that let the water run and overdo it, and it's not fair for everybody else to pay the overages. So I went in there, I separated every line, I put 3 different meters, and they read them. But that's again, that's a case, what meters we have that are gonna work with our system. You know, what are them gonna cost to split them up 3, 4 ways, stuff like that, or, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to consider.
Jay, like after hearing the discussion, what do you think we should
Yeah,
try to?
I don't understand enough about plumbing to understand how if you have one line in and then it spreads out, how do you meter all those different areas?
Depending on the plumbing, sometimes it can be simple.
Mhm.
You have this line going there, this line going there, that line going there.
Well, what
Sometimes
you do
it's
is
more difficult.
The single line that comes in from the main into the building.
Mhm.
You put a cutoff there. From there, you build the manifold system. You've got a main shutoff that you can shut off completely, and then you've got a manifold system that'll have 2, 3, 4 separate shutoffs, and then you set 2, 3, 4 meters, and then they plumb from the meter to wherever it goes.
Right, and the only downside of that is like, say, we're at the back of this building, and I'm running to the front of your building. Well, on the way there, I throw a tee up, I head upstairs, you know, to supply that. So all that has to be figured out.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think, it's like where
Yes.
you've got
Where
upstairs.
the main cold goes to
Yeah.
get everybody and their water meters and their thing. So yeah, there's some, you know, you gotta work that out, but, I mean, I don't know, I pay water, everybody else pays water. I think if you got apartments, everybody should pay the minimum.
Well, and you've got antique stores that also pay a bill. Antique Seller has their own bill.
Exactly, I think everybody should. that
White
comes
Lion
in
has
is
their
not-
own bill.
Any other town you go to, you pay a minimum. Nobody's, you know.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying, I don't know what the answer is, that's why it's up to you guys.
You know, it could
but
be
all should
easier
be
if,
even.
you know, we approach them and say, listen, okay, these are your tenants. When they're full, they need to come down and they need to pay a minimum. It's on one bill, but everybody still pays a minimum
No,
until we
that's
can
not
get
how
it
our
figured
billing
out.
system works, we can't.
But then even if they don't pay it, you can't shut it off. So people can rent these apartments and never pay their water bill.
And then the other,
Then you need to make the landlord responsible for it. If your tenant's not paying it, you're gonna pay
the
it.
landlord is responsible, but we still have to exhaust everything, take them to
Some
court and
towns
everything. to try to
require
get-
owners
say
to
if
have it in their name.
I didn't pay my water,
That would make
they
more
need to
sense.
come after
I
me
have
and
to have one
exhaust.
person talking
you know.
because we're recording, and if more people talk, then you
Right.
can't hear when she's taking minutes and try to write them down, so.
But we still have to make
Beauty
like
is
the
the live
tenant
stream and
responsible, we
this.
need to go after them.
Yeah.
Some people, most people don't have a job, you can't do nothing. But at least if you get a court thing against them, then you go after the landlord.
So Jay, do you think we should contact, these, building owners for our next step?
We can see what they think. Yeah, I think you ought to get their input. But I understand that you're losing revenue that you shouldn't be losing.
We have a
And
question.
the question is how best is,
It's been in the code for I don't even know how long about this.
Well, you're
He has a
also
question.
losing several hundreds of dollars every month,
Just wait for
just
one.
minimum.
I just feel bad telling Carla to shut off somebody when I can't shut off.
The other people that are connected to it.
You know, and it's not fair then to the antique store to not be able to flush their toilet because somebody else didn't pay their bill.
I just think it's not been addressed for so long, we're gonna have to come to some type of agreement, the town and the owners pay a certain amount.
But I mean,
we
they
get it
made a business
resolved, and
decision
then
to
it
make
pays off.
more money doing apartments, right? That was their business decision.
Well,
it
it should have been,
addressed-
addressed, Tara, way before then.
It was
Now,
addressed in 2019, but they failed to follow
to
through.
follow up, right. So here we are now with the elephant in the room. I mean, I don't know, I just know, and unless you would, I don't know, court battle, us paying lawyers, Jay, to fight it, then paying lawyers, I mean, I could just see it. Not saying it's gonna happen, we can go through an offer and see what it agrees with, but, I mean, if we all think logical, I think everybody just go 50-50 and take it on. That's not from nobody.
So make the rest of the residents who,
No,
because it's gonna
not the
come
rest
out of the
residents.
water
That's something
account.
that's gonna come out from us as a town to take care of our share, and they come out from their share, because somewhere along the line, somebody
It
didn't push
would
it.
come out of the water though, that
Yes, but
rate
eventually
that
it will pay
residents
off, because
pay.
you got 12 to others that are not paying. I'm just saying, it could be nasty, and this is not coming from me talking to them. This is
Okay.
me thinking about this for days and months.
Jamesy?
Can I say something? I agree with you, the owner should pay for it. Is there a way the town can adopt an ordinance or some kind of rule
That's-
to where?
That's what Jay's been working on, he's been doing some research, and that's what we're trying to figure out which way to go. So that's why we were just discussing like different ways, and that's why we were trying to get Billy involved and just try to get some more input on this
I mean, how
tonight.
many people do you wanna see live in those apartments? I mean, who's to say you can't move 20 people in a three-room apartment? And
Right.
boom, you know, they don't have to pay water bill, you got 20 people living up there. Is there a way you can control it as a town? Look, you own the building, but you're only allowed so many people.
There's so many units.
Yes, and that can happen.
Yeah.
But as far as the water, somewhere along the line, somebody let them get away with that.
Yeah.
So now it causes a problem. They go back on that, and it sort of makes them okay. I mean, I'm just looking on the outside in. Like, if I were somebody like that, I mean, it sort of makes it, well, you let me get along with this long now, so you're gonna throw this on me? So I'm just thinking better ways of dealing with it to where we take responsibility because we let it go for so long, but yet they take responsibility because they got multiple units.
Do you know how much a
The
meter is?
easiest way.
Do you know how much per meter is? Like, say if you would buy the
Minimum.
meters and then they would be responsible for.
Billy's already done that, he's already bought the meters.
Yeah,
Right.
I would have to be the one to install the meter
meter.
portion.
You know, and as far as getting away with it so long, Craig, that's good for them. Like, they're not gonna
No, it is, but they would probably use it against us, is where I'm at.
say it, like,
Sort of like that
we wanna
grant.
go back and pay for all the
It
years
could-
we got away
no,
with
could
it?
it could go like grandfather, but not grandfather. It'd just be a fight. It'd be their attorneys against Jay. You know, you let us do it for so long. Now you're telling us we gotta spend X amount of $1,000 to meter all of our pits, where things could be settled differently. I'm just saying where it could go. I promise you, I'm not talking to nobody, but I'm just looking at the
Okay.
best way.
We're kind of repeating the same thing over and over and over again, so let's say something different. Jay, did you have anything else you wanted to add on this, or?
No, I don't.
Grace was
He's still researching, okay.
Did you see the drawings? Or one of them had a drawing.
Do you want me to contact the building owners?
Their address is West Madison.
Does the council want me to contact the building owners? Do you want Jay to contact the building owners, or?
They probably prefer not to see an attorney letter, but, so maybe you first.
I may have to get some, input from Tara, because I don't know that I have all the contact information, but I know I can get that from her, so.
Or Carla, she can.
Yeah. So I will add that to my list, and, I'm going to adjourn the meeting, so.
And then, somewhere down the line, we need to put something in case other people buy properties. So it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. You're welcome. I'll send him emails and stuff.
Yes.
See you, buddy.
Alright.
Seen you a long time.
Appreciate it.
Last month I was working on
If there's three or, if it's or less,
This
it's
is,
simply.
this is where it,
And it already says
she
that.
put this on there.
But I guess we didn't know
She's been
that.
trying to add this, she just added this on our.
I know, we're just gonna wait.
No.